What if the reason you wake up every morning feeling more exhausted than when you went to bed isn't simply age? What if those deepening wrinkles around your eyes, the thinning hair, and the aching joints weren't something you just had to accept after 50, but signs your body is quietly craving, something it no longer makes enough of? Think about it. Have you tried expensive creams that promise to erase fine lines but did nothing? Have you bought collagen powders only to feel no real difference in your skin or energy? Or maybe you've looked in the mirror and thought, why do I look so tired, even when I'm not? You're not alone. Millions of women over 50 are frustrated by the same cycle: dull skin, fatigue that won't go away, restless nights, and the sinking feeling that aging has stolen their glow. But here's the twist. What if it wasn't aging at all, but something fixable? What if the key was hidden in foods that not only taste good, but also switch your collagen production back on, naturally? That's what we're uncovering today. And to guide us, I'm joined by a respected expert in natural nutrition who has helped countless women reclaim their radiance. Together, we'll explore 5 anti-aging collagen foods that could change the way you feel about your body, your skin, and even your mornings. So wrinkles and fatigue are not inevitable. We may have simply been looking in the wrong place. Let's find out. Let's start with something most listeners probably haven't heard of: peach gum. To be honest, it doesn't sound like something you'd find in the kitchen. What exactly is it, and why would women over 50 even consider eating it?
That's a great question. Peach gum is actually a natural resin that forms on wild peach trees. At first glance, it looks like tiny amber crystals, almost like droplets of hardened honey. But inside those crystals is something extraordinary. They're rich in galactose and special polysaccharides. Galactose plays a crucial role in stabilizing collagen, essentially helping the collagen you already have to become stronger, more resilient, and better able to hold moisture.
So it's not about adding fake collagen from the outside, but protecting what's left on the inside.
Exactly. In fact, one study published in the Journal of Functional Foods showed that peach gum polysaccharides help the skin retain water and reduce transepidermal water loss. That means less dryness, fewer sagging lines, and even less puffiness around the eyes. And when you combine peach gum with snow fungus, sometimes called the plant-based hyaluronic acid, and fresh pear, you're getting a collagen-boosting trio that hydrates, nourishes, and protects. Pears bring in quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that shields collagen from damage caused by free radicals.
I can imagine women listening right now thinking, this sounds interesting, but also complicated. Doesn't it take hours of soaking and cooking? Isn't that a bit too much effort for something that might or might not work?
That's a common hesitation. Let me share the story of Susan, one of my patients in her mid-60s. She came to me frustrated with her dull, crepey skin and this constant morning fatigue. She had already tried high-end creams and supplements, and nothing seemed to make a difference. I encouraged her to try this peach gum dessert just once a week. After soaking overnight, she simmered it with snow fungus, pear, and just a touch of rock sugar. 4 weeks later, she came back glowing. Her cheeks looked fuller. The puffiness under her eyes had reduced. And she told me, I don't feel as drained in the mornings anymore.
That's powerful. So, for women who want to try this at home, what's the exact method?
It's simpler than it sounds. Take 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried peach gum. Soak them overnight in clean water. By morning, they'll expand into these soft, jelly-like beads. Put them in a pot with a handful of soaked snow fungus, slices of pear, and a little rock sugar if you like sweetness. Let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Once cooled, you can serve it chilled. Think of it as a dessert that doubles as skincare. I recommend having it 1 to 2 times a week as part of your collagen-friendly routine.
So, instead of relying on injections or creams, you're saying something as gentle as a sweet, jelly-like dessert could quietly transform both skin and energy.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's not about fighting aging with force. It's about giving the body what it's been quietly craving all along.
Now, I have to ask, pudding. Are we seriously talking about dessert as an anti-aging food? Can eating something chocolatey actually make your skin look younger? Or is it really just another sweet treat in disguise?
That's the fun part. When most people hear chocolate, they think sugar, guilt, and weight gain. But I'm not talking about candy bars here. I'm talking about raw cacao, the unsweetened, minimally processed form of chocolate. It's rich in flavanols, particularly epicatechin, which has some very powerful effects on skin health. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Nutrition back in 2006 found that women who consumed high flavanol cacao daily saw up to a 15% increase in skin collagen density within 12 weeks. Their skin also became more hydrated, thicker, and visibly healthier.
So you're saying this pudding isn't just a guilty pleasure, it's actually working at the cellular level.
Exactly. Flavanols improve circulation, which delivers more oxygen and nutrients to the skin. They also neutralize free radicals, slowing down the breakdown of collagen. So cacao isn't just protective, it's reparative. And when we pair it with chia seeds, the magic really multiplies.
Chia seeds are already a health trend, but how do they fit into this picture?
Chia seeds are a powerhouse. They contain tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin, the feel-good chemical. Serotonin then converts into melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. And here's why that matters. Most collagen production happens during deep sleep. If you're tossing and turning, your body isn't repairing. Chia also packs omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, support skin elasticity, and help your skin retain moisture.
I know some women listening might worry though. Pudding, chocolate, nuts? It all sounds like a recipe for weight gain or even blood sugar spikes. Isn't that a real concern?
It's a valid concern. But here's the key. We're not using sugar-heavy chocolate, and we're not adding refined sweeteners. This pudding relies on the natural creaminess of chia and the richness of cacao. If you want extra flavor, you can add a handful of berries, which are low glycemic and packed with antioxidants. And topping it with a couple of Brazil nuts adds selenium, a trace mineral that boosts your body's production of glutathione, one of the most powerful antioxidant systems we have, and especially protective for aging skin.
Do you have an example of someone who actually benefited from this?
Yes, Lydia. A woman in her early 70s started making this pudding every other night. At first, she just wanted a healthier dessert option. But after about 6 weeks, she told me something remarkable. I'm sleeping deeper than I have in years, and my skin feels thicker. Not in a bad way, but stronger. That's collagen at work.
For those of us who want to try this at home, how exactly do we make it?
It's simple. Mix 3 tablespoons of chia seeds with 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk and 1 teaspoon of raw cacao powder. Stir well and let it sit overnight in the fridge. By morning, it becomes a rich, creamy pudding. Top it with a couple of Brazil nuts and a few fresh berries. It's indulgent, but it's working for your skin, your energy, and your sleep all at the same time.
So, what sounds like dessert is actually a secret weapon for collagen.
That's right. Sometimes the sweetest solutions are the most powerful.
When women hear the word cordyceps or zodong trung ha phao, many immediately think of something rare, expensive, and maybe even too exotic. And let's be honest, there's also the worry of fake products floating around. Is it really worth the hype? And is it something everyday women can actually trust?
That's such an important question. Cordyceps has almost a mythical reputation. But beyond the hype, what makes cordyceps valuable is its effect at the cellular level. It boosts ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the body's main energy molecule. When ATP levels rise, your cells have the energy they need to repair tissues, rebuild collagen, and keep your immune system strong.
So, it's not just about energy in the sense of feeling awake, but about the skin and collagen actually repairing.
Exactly. Cordyceps doesn't just help you feel less tired. It helps your cells work more efficiently. It also increases superoxide dismutase, or SOD, a powerful antioxidant enzyme that shields collagen from oxidative stress, almost like armor protecting the scaffolding of your skin. In fact, a 2016 study published in the Journal of Food and Function showed that adults under physical stress who supplemented with cordyceps had significantly better antioxidant activity and reduced signs of fatigue. This isn't just theory, it's proven.
I know another concern for many women is sleep. Some are afraid that taking cordyceps in the evening might keep them up at night. Is that a risk?
Actually, it's the opposite. Deep sleep is when your body produces the most collagen. And cordyceps improves oxygen utilization during rest, which means your body repairs itself more efficiently while you sleep. Far from causing insomnia, it can actually promote deeper, more restorative rest. When we add a dash of cinnamon to the infusion, the benefits are even stronger. Cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde, which research has shown stimulates the genes responsible for producing type 1 collagen, the type most important for skin firmness.
That sounds like the perfect bedtime ritual. Do you have an example of how this worked for someone?
Yes. Rosa, a woman in her early 60s, reached out to me after struggling with restless nights and morning fatigue. She started replacing her usual evening tea with a cordyceps cinnamon infusion. Within just a few weeks, she told me, "I wake up with clearer eyes, fewer aches, and I don't dread mornings anymore." Her sleep improved, her skin looked brighter, and her energy returned.
That's inspiring. For those of us ready to try, what's the exact way to prepare it?
It's simple. Take about 3 grams of cordyceps powder and simmer it gently in 1 cup of unsweetened plant milk. Add a pinch of cinnamon. Let it warm without boiling, and sip it about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. The key is gentle heat, not boiling, so the active compounds remain intact. Do this a few nights a week, and you may be surprised how quickly your sleep, energy, and skin begin to transform.
So instead of a fancy latte, this is more like a quiet ritual that works hard while you rest.
Exactly. It's not flashy, but it's powerful.
Now, let's move to something that often makes women hesitate. Sea cucumber. I know what many listeners are thinking. Right now, it smells fishy, it's expensive, and honestly, it looks hard to prepare. Is it really necessary, or is it just another exotic health trend?
I completely understand that reaction. Sea cucumber isn't something most of us grew up cooking. And yes, at first glance, it doesn't look very appealing, but the science behind it is actually quite impressive. Sea cucumber is rich in chondroitin sulfate, a compound that helps rebuild and stabilize the collagen scaffolding in both skin and joints. That means it doesn't just smooth out fine lines on your face, it also supports flexibility and joint comfort.
So it's working both inside and out.
Exactly. And it gets better. Sea cucumber is also high in glycosaminoglycans, which are molecules that hold water in the space between skin cells. That's what gives skin that plump, elastic quality. One 2013 study published in Marine Drugs Journal found that sea cucumber extract not only stimulated collagen synthesis, but also reduced oxidative stress in fibroblasts, the very cells that make collagen. That's direct evidence of its anti-aging potential.
Interesting. But let's be honest, most women don't want to spend hours preparing something complicated, especially if they're recovering from illness or already feel drained. How practical is this in real life?
That's a fair concern. Let me share a story. A woman I worked with, 58 years old, had just come out of a long recovery after pneumonia. She felt completely depleted. Her skin looked dull, her energy was low, and even her joints ached when she tried to move around. We added sea cucumber soup twice a week into her routine. After just 3 weeks, she came back and told me, "I feel like I'm rebuilding myself from the inside." Her skin looked fresher, her energy lifted, and even her knee pain began to ease. Sometimes food truly can act like medicine.
That's powerful. So for the average listener who might want to try, how exactly do you make sea cucumber soup at home without getting overwhelmed?
The key is preparation, and it's actually easier than it sounds. Start with dried sea cucumber, which you can find in many Asian markets or health food stores. Soak it overnight in clean water until it softens. Once rehydrated, you can slice it and simmer it gently in a mushroom broth. I like to add fresh ginger slices, which not only help with digestion, but also reduce inflammation that can break down collagen. A touch of sea salt, and you have a restorative, nourishing soup. The cooking time is about 30 minutes.
So the smell, the complexity, it's not as intimidating once you know what to do.
Exactly. When you combine it with mushrooms like shiitake or maitake, you also get extra beta-glucans and vitamin D2, which support the immune system. That's why sea cucumber soup is especially valuable for women who feel run down. It restores energy, strengthens skin, and helps the body bounce back.
So despite the initial hesitation, this could be one of the most underrated collagen-boosting foods for women over 50.
Absolutely. Sometimes the things we resist at first turn out to be the most healing.
Our final food on the list isn't actually a food, it's a tea. Horsetail and nettle tea. Now, I have to admit, when people hear names like that, they often think of some bitter herbal medicine, something you'd only drink if you were sick. And many women worry, will it taste awful? Will it take months before I see results? And is it really worth it?
I hear that hesitation a lot. Horsetail and nettle aren't as familiar in Western kitchens, but they've been used in traditional remedies for centuries. Modern science is finally catching up and showing why they work. Horsetail, for instance, is one of the richest natural sources of silica, up to 8% of its dry weight. Silica is essential because it helps convert collagen into mature collagen. Without silica, your body may have the raw materials but can't effectively build strong collagen fibers. That's why horsetail is so valuable. It's like the spark that lights the collagen engine.
And what about nettle? Isn't it usually thought of as just a weed?
That's right, but nettle is actually a nutritional powerhouse. It's loaded with vitamin C, iron, and polyphenols. Vitamin C is absolutely critical because it fuels the enzymes that stabilize and cross-link collagen fibers. Without it, your body can't turn protein into usable collagen. No matter how much you eat, the polyphenols in nettle also reduce inflammation and act as antioxidants, protecting collagen from breakdown. When you steep nettle and horsetail together, you're giving your body both the tools and the spark it needs to build stronger skin, nails, and hair.
That makes sense. Still, I know a lot of women listening right now are struggling with really personal frustrations, like thinning hair, nails that break at the slightest touch, or skin that feels almost like tissue paper. Can tea really make a difference there?
It can. And I'll give you a real-life example, Margaret. A retired teacher in her 70s started drinking horsetail and nettle tea twice a day. She didn't expect much. She just thought of it as a gentle habit. But after a month, she told me her nails had stopped splitting. Her hair wasn't shedding nearly as much, and her skin no longer felt like crepe paper. Those are signs of collagen being supported at a very practical, visible level.
That's encouraging. So for women who want to try this at home, what's the exact method?
It's very simple. In a teapot or infuser, add 1 teaspoon of dried horsetail and 1 teaspoon of dried nettle leaves. Pour over hot, but not boiling, water and let it steep for about 5 to 7 minutes. Strain and sip once or twice a day, preferably between meals so your body can absorb the minerals more effectively.
So it's not some harsh medicine, but more of a daily tonic, almost like a ritual for healthier skin, hair, and nails.
Exactly. It's gentle, grounding, and effective. Sometimes it's not the dramatic interventions, but the simple, consistent habits that create the biggest transformation over time.
We've covered a lot today, so let's take a moment to recap. We explored 5 powerful collagen-boosting foods: peach gum dessert, cacao chia pudding, cordyceps infusion, sea cucumber soup, and horsetail nettle tea. Each of these isn't just about beauty on the surface, they're about rebuilding strength and vitality from the inside out.
That's right. And what makes them stand out is threefold. First, the science. Every single one of these has research to back it up, whether it's studies showing cacao increasing collagen density, sea cucumber stimulating fibroblasts, or horsetail providing the silica spark for collagen formation. These aren't gimmicks, they're rooted in evidence. Second, practicality. These aren't impossible to find superfoods. They can be worked into your weekly meals or daily rituals. Instead of another sugary dessert, you have cacao chia pudding. Instead of your usual evening tea, you have a cordyceps infusion. Simple swaps that quietly add up. And third, sustainability. Collagen support isn't an overnight miracle. It's about consistency. By choosing these foods and making them part of your rhythm, you'll start to notice real changes. Firmer skin, stronger hair, better energy over weeks and months, not just days.
That's a relief, because I know many women feel pressure to do everything all at once. But really, you don't have to. Start small, try 1 or 2 of these, see how your body responds, and then expand. The key is not perfection, but progress.
Exactly. Nature works best when we give it time and patience.
So let's leave our listeners with this thought. Aging is natural. We can't stop time, but we can choose how we walk through it. With the right foods, the right habits, and a little consistency, we can step forward with more energy, more resilience, and more radiance than we ever imagined.
Beautifully said.
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you to our expert for sharing this wisdom. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and remember, nature always has more to give than we think.